Welcome to YOUCANIC. So today we're going to go over on a GLA-Class Mercedes. So we've removed the door panel, but we're going to go over the procedure in which you would do to say remove this glass, if it would say cracked, broken, whatever, or to replace it. But more importantly, the window regulator mechanism that's behind this. This motor doesn't go bad very often, but what you're going to happen, sometimes you'll hear like a crackling noise, kind of a crank, or might you hear a pop, and generally that means like you might hear the gears moving, but it means there's a cable back in here that runs to pull this all up, and this motor turns to make it work, right? So, but generally the motor doesn't go bad, it's the cable that runs up and back in here. So the way you would get to that, of course, you're going to have to unhook all of these connectors here. This you might have to get in, you would have to get in and unhook that. So your airbag, you would undo this connector. You'd undo this connector just by squeezing the two tabs together, pulling it off, and then you could take these three out. But we're going to wait for a second there, because what you would want to do, you'd want to have this hooked up, and then you'd want to have the door panel piece hooked up over here, because you're going to need to roll down this window to here. You'd roll it down, this access on this access, and then you would be able to take the bolts off that hold this window. So you would need to kind of hold it here, have somebody here to help you while you have the other two pins hooked here, key on, lower your window down to here so you can see the access holes, the bolts, and then you would undo those and loosen them up, and then you'd have somebody help you, and you pull this up, and generally you're gonna pull it and twist it a little bit, and then you can pull the window out and remove that. And then to be able to get to the actual window regulator mechanism behind here, but you would undo all these connections. They're color coded essentially. You can't mix them up, but you would want to make sure that you put the green with green, the purple, and the blue back with the blue. You undo all this, take these three screws out, and remove this. This will pop off real easily. And like I said, this doesn't go bad very often, but more importantly, to get in here, you got to drill all these rivets all the way around to be able to pop this off. And then you pop this off and get access to the actual window regulator and be able to replace that. But that's how you get in to go ahead and replace that window regulator. But, you know, so that's how you do it. But then we do it in the reverse process. Go ahead and put everything back on. Of course, you'd have to find some type of rivet or rivet gun to put these back on, or a good screw that's not very long, so you don't damage the anything that's inside there. But you put these covers back in. Well, you put the window back in, and then you tighten this nut up. Make sure it goes up and down first, and then put the covers back on. Go ahead and put everything back on. So we're going to go ahead and do the process of putting the door panel back on, because we've gone ahead and fixed off what was broken on here and so forth. So we're just going to put this on. Getting our door panel. Got our door panel. We'll get it over here. And we've got these two electrical connectors, and they line up the color coded, the blue and the purple. So just push it until they click. Get this speaker that's going to want to be out here. But I just want to make sure. So back to when we're going to install this, we're going to want to make sure that we push these electric lines over this way so we don't crimp them in with the clips, right? And the biggest thing we want to make sure you do this is you've got the door latch, so you're going to just push this pin down in. It'll make a nice little snap noise. And then you're going to want to pull this, the sleeve here, and then put the cable inside this black channel. Put it inside the black channel from the top, and then the cable will slip back, and that's how you would open your door. Then we want to make sure we guide this up and over the what do you call it? Make sure our wires are pushed on the inside here, and line up the holes, and just start working your way around. Once you get those screws all tightened back up, those 2 big screws, they're all getting tight, everything's still good and popped together properly. Then last, you're going to want to put this piece back on. Just line them up with these little tabs, the tabs in the hole, and then just nice and easy, work your way all the way around, and just keep pushing it in until you hear it completely snap in and all nice and smooth. That is how you would put your door panel back on after you've gone ahead and fixed what you've needed to inside your GLA class Mercedes. Thanks for watching.